It's Friday, December 16. Kevin, welcome back to the Daily. Today, we're going to turn your unique powers of explanation to the incredible sounding ChatGPT. So tell us about this newfangled technology. What is it? What does the acronym stand for? Why does it matter? Well, Michael, I'm grateful to be here and always happy to be your personal tech support guru, member of Michael Barbaro Genius Squad. And we can do this two ways. I could explain ChatGPT to you as you ask it, or I could have ChatGPT explain itself to you. Which would you prefer? I kind of want to ask you to do it. I'm scared of this technology. Let's give it the old human try, shall we? Yes. So, ChatGPT it stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, really rolls off the tongue. So, ChatGPT it stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, really rolls off the tongue. Rolf of the tongue. Yeah, they really spend a lot of time in the branding department of that one. Right. It is a chatbot that was released just a few weeks ago by OpenAI, which is an AI company here in San Francisco. And it is a just very basic chatbot. It's a well, just explain the term for those or us who don't live in chatbots all day. Yeah, so chatbots has been around for decades. There have been attempts to come out with computer programs that could have a realistic human conversation with you, and for many years until quite recently, those chatbots were pretty bad. They were very rudimentary. They were only good at having certain kinds of interaction with humans. If they were good at any of them, there would be the sort of the customer service chatbot that you may get right. I'm thinking of Delta at the height of like it's a greatest wave of cancellation, and I asking it question and it's like not really getting back to me. And I trying to do slide into Delta's DMs because I didn't like the chatbot. Like that's the chatbot what you are talking about. Yeah. So that was until very recently kind of chatbot that most people had encountered with. The other kind was something that you may not think of as a chatbot, but that is one. It's something like a Siri or Alexa. These sort of virtual assistants that people have been using now for years. And those, as I am sure you're familiar with, those have certain things that they do quite well. Set timers or look up the weather in Puggescape or tell you the score of the Giants game last night, but they are no good and answering sort of open-ended or more creative question. So if you ask Siri to summarize the broader Karamazov in 7 bullet points, all of which were no more than 2 sentences long, it probably wouldn't be able to do that either. But ChatGPT can actually do the stuff quite well. It can write essays, it can come up with scripts for TV shows, it can answer math questions, it can even write code. So this is a very powerful AI tool, and since it was released just a few weeks ago, more than 1 million people have signed up to use it. So it is already going viral, and social media has been full of screenshots of people encounter and interaction with ChatGPT. Okay, well, let's use the thing because I'm actually finding this hard to fathom. And here I want to disclose I have not used ChatGPT at all. So I am going to input a set of questions that I will never dare ask a Siri or Alexa, and let me see what comes up. Write me a short story about love, love. Okay, here comes the hour. I'm going to read it to you. Once upon a time, in small village nestled in the heart of the lush forest, there lived a young couple named Jack and Jill. They had fallen in love at first sight and had been inseparable ever since. One day Jack and Jill decided to take a walk through the forest. They walked hand in hand, admiring the beauty of the trees and the chirping of the birds. As they walked, they came across a clearing with a small pond in the center. One and one echoes they sit by the pond, they talking. A frog hops in. Hearing the frog's words, Jack and he realized they were lucky to have found each other. They thanked the frog, they continued their walk, and they lived happily ever after, more in love than ever before and not taking that love for granted. I mean, it's a hell of a history to generate based on very vague direction to write me a short story about love. Yeah, I'm now trying to transform it in some way. So you so in your next prompt to ChatGPT, say rewrite the first paragraph of the history in Shakespearean dialect. Okay, wow, this is the response. It's instantaneous. In a forest deep and lodge there was a village small, where lived a couple young, Jack and Jill, in love with all their hearts to feel, together since the day they laid their eyes upon each other's face, inseparable. Their love did blossom and grow with time and grace. That's pretty good. Very impressive. The rhythm and it's exactly the form of the Shakespearean dialect. Alright, now try one more transformation. Just become I'm curious. Rewrite the paragraph in the style of the 1914's monster who is annoyed that it's raining. This is amazing. In this lousy dome of a town, it's always raining. Makes a guy want to pack up and leave this place for good. But I can't. Not with all of the heat that has been coming down because I am monster. The police are all over me. Looks like I am stuck here with this with streets and waterlogged ground. It it keeps going. Bravo. So just think to make the little monster love story took many years of research by the best AI science in the world. One of the world's largest supercomputers training of billions of examples of data. Also, you could write that story. So, Kevin, how did ChatGPT come to exist? I would say that development of ChatGPT really began in 2017 when researchers from Google came out with this paper that described something new that they had built called a transformer model. And explain what a transformer model is would take the rest of this episode. But the basic thing they discovered was there was a new kind of AI system that you could train by just throwing a huge amount of data at it. And the data didn't have to be particularly well organized or labeled. You could use kind of shove billions of examples of text collected from all over the internet, and it could figure it out sort of the relationship between different words, different phrases, and it could use the information to predict the next set of the text in a sequence. So if you type in "Old MacDonald had a farm", it would spit back E-I-E-I-O.